Hey, Foot Clan, Navy Federal has a mission to put members first by making their financial goals the priority. Receive a lifetime of membership benefits to help you and your family accomplish your life missions, like a full suite of financial products designed to fit your needs, 24/7 life support, and access to over 300 branches on or near military bases. Visit NavyFederal.org for more information. You can call 1-888-842-6328 or download the Navy Federal Credit Union app. Message and data rates may apply.
This is Melvin Gordon from the Los Angeles Chargers, and you listening to the Fantasy Footballers podcast.
Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers podcast, coming to you from Draft.com Studios with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers.
You, sir, are a turd burglar.
Whoa! I feel like I fed you a whole lemon right there. Because you had a face when you heard that Melvin Gordon intro.
It was intentional.
That was the bitter beer face.
I know what you are doing. Melvin, you got 2 weeks, buddy. At least for me. Sorry, Foot Clan, if you need him next week.
Mike has, let's just lay it out there. People ask all the time how our leagues are going, and this is, I think, why this show is so successful, is because we're with you. We're fighting in our own leagues, and that gives us
care.
Yeah, we're not on, an island giving advice. We're in the thick of it. Well, most of us.
Yes.
Now, Mike and I, in our league of record, it's like the Lakers-Celtics rivalries of days gone by, like the, Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain epic battles.
Our audience is loving this analogy.
Yes. And Mike and I have a history. We faced off in our league of record, which is like this is year 11, I believe, 11 or 12. We faced off 3 times in the championship game.
Wasn't it 3 times in 3 years?
That is
3
correct.
years in a row.
3 consecutive years.
It was known as the nightmare years.
I was going to say.
It was literally the worst thing that has ever happened. I mean, there's a lot of, in human history, a lot of tragedy.
I was going to say it's like a dictatorship.
Yes, it was. There's been a lot of, horrible things that have happened in, in the annals of humanity. But that 3-year stretch is the true dark ages.
Well, we're trying to get into them again. We both locked up the bye weeks.
Yes.
So you'll be on opposite sides of the bracket, heading towards each other, and I hate you both.
Yes, and I'm just excited to see what happens. But Mike has Melvin Gordon, so I might have played that intro on purpose.
You did,
because psychological warfare is.
It starts now.
It's 9/10 of the battle.
Yeah, that's a pro troll.
Yeah. Well, that's why I have the soundboard over here. Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Andy, Mike, and Jason back again. Tuesday, November 27th, Waiver Show. Heading into Week 13. Lots to talk about. At this point in the season, you're no longer talking about waivers in the context of, wait and see stashes, or maybe this guy works out. You're starting
Hold on to him.
You're starting to think more about lots of different things. One is like imminency. Like you need a player this week to play so you survive.
Must win.
There's an element of defense, right? You don't want somebody that you're playing against to grab somebody valuable this week. There are defenses that you're picking up for the playoffs. There are handcuffs for your running backs or important position player situations. The bye weeks are over, right? You substituted for Goff and for Mahomes this past week. Now you have a roster spot because you can dump that streamer. So there are a lot of decisions to be made, but they're different now in Week 13.
Yeah. One of the things that this week is a little different. I want to bring this up now because we don't usually cover. I mean, we make a quarterback streamer, but we don't really talk quarterback waivers in general because it's a onesie position. But if you're in dynasty deeper leagues where it's a super flex, a multi-quarterback league, you're going to have opponents who lost Andy Dalton, who lost Blake Bortles, who are going to need that second quarterback. And don't forget about the O'Driscolls of the world and the Kesslers. Doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, it doesn't.
If I could pay somebody to help me forget those two players, I would do it. And I thought you were going to say this, which is if you are, because we'll have streaming quarterbacks on the show today, but you do need to treat, if you're a streaming quarterback guy or gal, you need to treat that position a little bit like the defensive position. You need to stash a couple weeks ahead. You need to look at the quarterback matchups. You can't be flying by the seat of your pants in the playoffs. So we'll help you out today on the show. Follow us on Twitter at the FFBallers. Again, the giveaway, big giveaway right now, footclangiveaway.com.
It's huge.
Huge giveaway. Huge. Not like Hugh Jackson. No,
Oh.
I would give away. Do I still have the Hugh Jackson?
No, I think you ceremoniously disposed of it.
Yeah.
You did the right thing.
He's not good. TheFantasyFootballers.com is the website. Tons of articles. We have an amazing writing staff.
Did we say the giveaway URL?
Yes,
Okay.
footclangiveaway.com, Mike.
All right. I was just thinking about how huge it was. Should go.
What was that, the AOL keyword Foot giveaway?
Yes.
Put that in there.
Search channels.
We are old. Instagram.com/fantasyfootballers. Let's talk briefly about this Monday night game.
Holy crap!
This was one of those the over-under on the week was one of the lowest.
It's not what I was expecting.
Tennessee, Houston, and I mean Houston almost outperformed the over-under by themselves. Lamar Miller, 12 for 162 and a touchdown, had a 97-yard run. It was funny. His first drive of the game, he was chunking. 10, 15, 10. It looked like 3 or 4 of those. He almost broke the distance, which is not something you talk about Lamar Miller very often anymore. And then he did. He broke it out for 97. It's a good run.
Yeah, well, and that was an NFL Stats Twitter account tweeted out that was the longest rushing touchdown since Lamar Miller did it last time at 97 yards.
Yeah, well, he was saving up for this for a while. DeAndre Hopkins, 5 for 74, didn't score. Demaryius Thomas scored twice. Kiki QT, I guess, exited with a hamstring injury. That's bad.
Yep.
Because he's a good player. But
and he's been dealing with a hamstring problem. So
Yeah.
Kiki is in trouble.
Tweaky? Did he tweak?
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Demaryius is interesting, though. Maybe building some trust. Couple red zone targets, couple touchdowns. And then I'm officially dubbing the Tennessee Titans the most unpredictable offense in football. And I'm going to say Corey Davis is the most unpredictable player in football.
He's a mystery.
4 for 96 and a touchdown. That gives him 2 great games out of the last 3. So there's that.
Yeah, he's the new Amari Cooper. Whenever you think you can't play him, you can, and when you can, you can't. It's hard. I don't want to bank on Mariota and on Corey Davis. I think this is one of those landmine situations where if you get it right, you've got a crystal ball. And so I almost want other teams to have Corey Davis because you're going to play him.
If you get the wrong week for Tennessee's offense, it's a 2 for 11. Some kind of bad performance. So it's hard to predict. But 2 out of 3 weeks, I mean, he's pushing for some fire.
He's a good player himself.
Oh, yeah,
so
he
is
is.
Amari Cooper, and that was what we dealt with for 2 seasons.
Let's jump into the news.
News and notes from around the league.
All right. Let's talk Jags. The news has been handed, or the sentence has been handed down from the judge. Leonard Fournette, 1 game suspension for violating the unsportsmanlike conduct policy. He has appealed.
Yeah, I was going to say he's set to appeal for no reason.
You don't think he has?
Well,
What's his
here's the
case?
thing, Leonard.
What's his case?
There is,
A lot of the times, if you're kicked out of a game, you don't necessarily get suspended.
but it was
Third quarter.
There's video evidence that millions of people saw of Leonard Fournette. Here's the difference to me for Fournette. He was not in that play. He was not involved. He involved himself into the fight, and that gets you a game suspension when you instigate the fight. You start throwing actual punches to a man's helmet.
I just really want to know what the defense is. Like,
It wasn't me.
I didn't.
That was TJ.
I didn't mean it. I didn't even. His helmet was on. It was dumb of me. Like,
it's like your kids when the one child flops the other one. They're like, "Oh, I didn't mean to." You didn't?
Yeah.
I saw you swing.
It's true. And
I lost control of my body.
Do you wonder sometimes, because from what I understand on the field of play, regardless of how competitive things get, saying certain things is off limits.
Of course.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so I wonder, is there ever a defense that's like,
he talked about my mama.
Just like my kids would give me, like, no, he did this. He said this thing about my family or whatever.
Your mom defense.
So that's why I hit him, and then they go, that makes sense.
Okay. Forget it.
We'll know by Wednesday whether or not this appeal was denied swiftly or slowly.
I will be so shocked if it changes that I don't know. You guys will have to come up with something I have to do. Wear a dress to work, because it's not
what?
Sure.
Okay.
It's not getting repealed. It's so dumb.
Do you hear that out there? So you're wearing a dress to work if Fournette is playing this week.
Sure.
Okay. Cody Kessler will be the Jags starting quarterback going forward.
Yeah, that's going to fix it.
Yeah, this was kind of Doug Marrone sat down and he goes, what can I do that doesn't involve me firing myself? And it was, I'm going to fire the offensive coordinator, who, by the way, that's not a small deal. That's a shocking deal, because he was with Nathaniel Hackett through 3 different stints in college and the pros. They're close.
And
he said, you take the fall.
Here's the problem.
And Blake, you take the fall.
If you had wanted to make the move from Blake to Cody Kessler, fine. I understand that move. But doing both of these in a week, I don't think is a good football move. You don't know what the problem was.
It's 3 strikes. Because you lose Fournette as well. You let's take our starting running back out, our offensive coordinator, change it, put someone new in there calling plays for the first time, and let's put a backup quarterback in there. I came in this morning like, okay, who do the Jags play?
Colts.
It's the Colts.
No, I'd play the Colts D.
Yeah, I think
Fournette,
I would too.
No, and then Kessler behind center, Andrew Norwell.
Yeah, that's
their
big news.
Star guard out for the season. It's burning down in Jacksonville. All right, Marvin Jones placed on injured reserve with a knee injury, ending the season. There was some pretty big injury reserve news yesterday. So Marvin Jones is done. I think that turns Bruce Ellington into an interesting PPR wide receiver 3 for the rest of the season.
Yes, I agree. He is a pickup for sure.
Andy Dalton, injured reserve with torn ligaments in his thumb. It's time for Jeff Driscoll.
Gotta
take care of the Driscoll. Start teams against the Bengals.
Yep.
Defenses. Because Tom Savage was also claimed off of waivers. Tom Savage has like a tent and a bedroll, and it's all in the waiver wire area. That's where he lives.
He lives at the airport.
Yes.
He's just waiting.
I saw a report. Somebody lived at the airport for like 2 months.
Yeah, it was Tom Hanks in that movie.
I saw that movie, yeah.
Jeff Hireman, broken ribs, bruised lung. He is done for the season as well. Jack Doyle. Doyle is
huge.
done for the season.
Is that confirmed?
Yes, he is done. Right. Injured reserve kidney injury for Jack Doyle. Eric Ebron.
Holy Eric Ebron.
It's bad for the Colts because Doyle is a much better blocker, but Eric Ebron's on the field now.
Eric Ebron is top 3 rest of season.
Yeah. Kyle Shanahan said that Nick Mullins is indeed going to start. I thought they'd go back to C.J. Beathard. They did not.
Got to trust the process, man. Got to get that high pick.
I don't even know why you – oh, okay. Yeah, you're going for the pick. I was like, why? What process? Jimmy Garoppolo is your future.
It's so crazy to me. I guess there's certain coaches where like Dirk Cutter, but Kyle Shanahan's secure. He's got a long-term contract. He
only benefits from a better pick.
He has nothing to gain by winning.
Yeah, I mean,
sure, confidence, but
I was gonna say there's intangibles with your team and what they believe, and
yeah, but you know what turns that around? The first overall pick and immediate hope,
possibly,
just fully injected into your locker room.
Rex Burkhead activated off of injured reserve. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Mike made the point. Look, you at least have to acknowledge the fact he could surprise the Sony Michel James White owner, and only in a bad way.
Yes,
you basically. Would you agree with this? You're not signing Rex Burkhead. You're probably not playing Rex Burkhead, but you might be sad because of Rex Burkhead.
I think you should sign him and stash him. You're not signing him to play him, but you're also Rex Burkhead's now a handcuff. Like, we've talked about the high-value handcuff. If Sony Michel goes down, and that would not be shocking, he's gone down multiple times this year, or if James White misses time, Rex Burkhead is super interesting play.
It was brief, but Sony did
That's what I mean.
some time last
He went
game.
out last week.
Yeah, he missed a drive at least, I think.
He was just Paul Pierce in it.
Yeah, he does.
Wanted to come back, be the truth.
Yeah, I mean, he's no Matt Breida.
Yeah, I would pick up Burkhead in certain situations.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want to touch on in the news? There's a lot of news there. I mean, that was a lot of players' seasons ending. Thanks.
Put me in, coach.
It was a bad day for the IR, or a good, does that mean it's a good day for the IR? Like,
I don't know. Is it a good day for detention when more kids show up? Is that like, we got?
I guess the entity of the IR, if it's
like,
it's like the nothing from the Never-Ending Story.
Yeah, I was thinking of the plant from the Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, feed me, Seymour.
Yeah, you got
nice, nice reference, bro.
Did
you ever get sent to detention, Mike?
No. That just made me think of the story. I had the only incident I ever had in high school was I showed up late one day, and they had instituted this new garbage rule where, like, you can't get signed in. You know how when you're late, the parent can sign you in. It's an excuse thing. I had an excuse signing late, and they said, no, you got to go to sweep. And I said, no, thanks. So I attempted to leave the school, and then an officer of the law showed up and said, why don't you come with me? And they sent me to sweep. Those jerks.
An officer of the law?
Yeah,
not like a school.
Like a sheriff?
No, an actual officer was
on horseback.
Yes. He said, Mike,
Jason,
have some faith.
Over under 10 detention trips.
I actually, I only got sent to detention once. And it was a good story, but it is a story that cannot be shared on this podcast.
Cannot be shared. Okay. We'll get into that.
We can talk about it when the show's over. This is pretty good.
Okay, good. We're talking waivers. Chiefs, Rams, back off the bye. No more bye weeks to worry about. It's go time. For a lot of leagues, this is your final regular season week before week 14, 15, 16 playoffs. Let's talk about wide receivers, the main waiver wire pickups at wide receiver. For me, when I look at these guys, because there are a number of players that we could discuss, and I'll let you guys bring up names that you like, but it comes down to, can I play them this week? And do I look at them as viable starts for a couple weeks if I need them? For me, the number one guy is Josh Reynolds.
Sure.
Wide receiver for the Los Angeles Rams. He was on bye in week 12, and I like the Detroit matchup this week. When I look at everybody else now, look, if DJ Moore is sitting out there on your waiver wire, okay, go get DJ Moore for the Carolina Panthers. But Josh Reynolds, DJ Moore.
If he's not, if DJ Moore, because I agree. I looked at your list here of who you had prioritized. I'm in 100% agreement in the same order. Reynolds 1, Moore 2, but those guys are probably taken. But the player that I'm really excited about because of the matchup and what he's done this year is Curtis Samuel. That's a name we've barely brought up on this show because he's not a high-volume guy that you can really project and predict often. Curtis Samuel's just been unbelievable in his opportunities. We knew coming in that he's one of the fastest guys in the league. His main issue was health. Look, he was on 92% of snaps. He's ranks number 1 in wide receivers in fantasy points per target per pass route run. That might be skewed depending on if it's all his rushing work that is adding in there. But they're playing at Tampa Bay. You're telling me Curtis Samuel doesn't have a great opportunity to torch someone for a 60-yard bomb touchdown or rush?
If Devin Funchess is out, I completely agree. But I don't think we have any update if Funchess is looking like he'll suit up this week.
See, I feel like even if Funchess is there, Funchess has been there most of the season, and Curtis Samuel's that swing for the fences high. If you need a play this week and you've got to get someone off of waivers and the big, mostly owned guys are gone, and so you're digging from the bottom of the well,
he has scored in 3 of 4 weeks. And what I like about bringing up his name, and he did deserve to be talked about previously. We didn't talk about him a lot because DJ Moore kind of overshadowed it and the low touch totals. But if you're in the realm where you're going, well, I want to start Deshaun Jackson, Well, why aren't we talking about Curtis Samuel in the same breath, right? He's scored 5 times this season, 4 times this season, and 3 in the last 4 weeks. So he deserves to be talked about in the big play capability, and he gets at least 1 rush a week. I mean, that's kind of what happens. So he's worth a discussion. And the matchup with Tampa Bay is what brings him to the top of the of the water cooler chatter.
And if Funchess is out, I agree. But if you're talking about swing for the fences, guys, I think that there's some other options on the waiver wire that I would rather scout out first. Guys like Adam Humphries. We talked about Deshaun Jackson briefly there. He's seeing a hand specialist. That's
Deshaun Jackson is.
That's generally not good for a wide receiver, and Adam Humphries has been fantastic. So Adam Humphries or Chris Godwin, they're available in more than half of leagues. I would be checking for those guys first. It's not that I don't like Curtis Samuel. The dude was a second-round pick.
It's funny. If he was a rookie, you would be hyping the performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd be so
But he
excited.
basically is.
He basically is because he lost last season.
Yeah, so it was –
couldn't find it.
I think it was the addition of DJ Moore in the in the first round by Carolina that felt like the team was already moving on from Samuel, but clearly they are not.
Yeah, he's a talented guy.
So, Mike, then maybe you should speak to some of the other names that are highlights for you. I mean, Tre'Quan Smith, if for some reason, he was not active on Thanksgiving, if he's out there, the numbers I have is about 50% ownership.
I would rather have him than Samuel. A guy I'm struggling with right now of which side of that fence would I lean? David Moore from Seattle, another monster game, and he gets to play San Francisco. Now, he's similar to what Curtis Samuel has been doing where he's not in on that 80-90% of the snaps, but he keeps hitting big plays as well. Jay, would you rather have David Moore or you still go with Curtis Samuel?
If I need a 1-week play, I would go Curtis Samuel first, but David Moore is high up in that list for the deeper, less-owned players that are still good. I mean, San Francisco is a great matchup, so I do like both players, but I would put Curtis Samuel ahead.
Okay.
PPR pals, Tre'Quan, Bruce Ellington, Adam Humphries, those 3 guys, if you're in a PPR league and you don't want to get goosed, you're not going to get goosed starting any of those.
Oh, no, Humphries would be the top of that list. Would you guys rather have Tre'Quan or Bruce Ellington?
I would take Bruce Ellington, because he's higher up. In my opinion, he's higher up the depth chart and priority for, and it has a better quarterback.
With the matchup against the Los Angeles Rams, assuming the Rams are going to score a lot of points, then the PPR volume should be there for Ellington as they need to use him in that, that Golden Tate type of role.
Now, Andy, you eloquently rebranded MVS on yesterday's show.
Correct. You can drop him.
Are you going to play we talked about Aaron Rodgers not playing at the level that we are accustomed to. Are you going to play the game with EQ, Equanimous St. Brown?
No. I don't want to feel pain. No. I try to avoid pain. So no, I would not play any 3 named Packers wideouts at this time.
All right.
What about Devontae Rodgers-Adams?
Oh!
I wish I knew his middle name.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy if it was Rodgers.
Yeah, it would be because of Aaron. Hey, before we get to
Good
running
joke.
back.
Good joke, bro.
Before we get to the running backs, want to thank Lightstream for helping sponsor the show. The holidays, they are approaching. You may be thinking how you're going to save a little bit of extra cash. Consolidate your high-interest credit card balances to a lower rate and save with Lightstream. Lightstream offers credit card consolidation loans from 6.14% APR with autopay. And if you compare that to the national average credit card rate of over 19%, it's a pretty significant savings. So you can get $5,000 to $100,000. You can even get your money the same day you apply. Applications 100% online. There are no fees. And look, Lightstream believes people with good credit deserve a great interest rate. Right now, our listeners could save even more with an additional interest rate discount. The only way to get it is to go to lightstream.com/footballers. That's Lightstream, lightstream.com/footballers. It's subject to credit approval. Rate includes a 0.5% autopay discount. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/footballers for more information.
We want to thank 23andMe for sponsoring today's show. Now through December 25th, the 23andMe DNA kits are on sale. They're on sale, people. All three of us have done the 23andMe kit. You can learn about the role that your genes play in your well-being, your lifestyle. For instance, studies have found that almost all elite power athletes like me, Jason, I believe you had that as well.
You're darn right I did.
Yeah, they've got a specific genetic variant in a gene related to muscle composition. It can also tell you about the genetics behind other senses like cilantro taste aversion, ability to match musical pitch, which I broke the system on that one, guys.
Yeah, you're far too good.
And mosquito bite frequency. I mean, these are legit things. You got to check it out from 23andMe. Learn really cool stuff. Now through December 25th, get 30% off any 23andMe kit. Order your DNA kit at 23andme.com/footballers. That's the number 23andme.com/footballers. Again, that's 23andme.com/footballers.
We're going to talk about some running backs, but I want to bring up a couple last-minute names at wide receiver. First, I want to tell you this. Listen to this. I'm 24.6% British and Irish.
Oh.
Yeah, I got it up. 7.5% Jewish.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Only 0.5% Finnish, though.
Oh.
Disappointing.
I'm like 95% Norwegian.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
'Cause
I'm sorry. I trampled your joke.
No,
That
that was
very
a great
good.
joke.
It was very good.
I rarely finish.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Are you interested in either of the Williams brothers from Los Angeles?
Yeah. If Tyrell,
Either of them.
No, I mean,
flip a coin.
If Tyrell Williams is practicing in full, that's the guy that I would be really interested in with Melvin Gordon being out.
That's
and
true.
Pittsburgh, the Steelers are playing great ball. This could be that type of game where I do like Tyrell Williams. I like both of them, but I would order them Tyrell than Mike.
All right, running back waiver wire pickups. Look,
Here we are.
There are some big names for me here. There are big names for all of us. It's Ekeler, Edwards, Adams. I mean, those are the big boys,
And they're very owned, but hopefully
they're very, very owned. So those are the only guys that if they're unowned and I can grab them, I feel good. Putting them right into your lineup. Obviously, Austin Ekeler likely to have a big role for multiple weeks. Hopefully you grabbed him if you're the Gordon owner, but there are a lot of leagues out there where he's available or have been dropped in recent weeks.
You look quickly because those three guys are probably taken, but they are the clear-cut three best pickups. How would you order them between Ekeler, Edwards,
like if you just
and
had
Adams?
your pick?
Yeah, you can pick. You've got the number one waiver claim. All three guys are there.
Well, I'm going to look at it in the 1 week time frame. So I would take Gus Edwards, Josh Adams, and then Austin Ekeler.
Even long term, I would go Gus Edwards. He's the clear number one. Oh man, number two.
See, I would go Ekeler then Adams after Gus.
I get that, but you got to talk about Justin Jackson when you're talking about Los Angeles Chargers running backs. He came in. He
looked good.
He got more carries than Austin Ekeler. He's not a gigantic guy, but I mean 6 foot, 200 pounds, and he had a really excellent college production profile. He was an interesting guy. I think he was drafted in like the 7th. Yeah, he was a 7th round pick. To me, coming into the season, I thought he actually had the juice to push Austin Ekeler for the backup job. So now here we are. He's got an opportunity. I think that he will play, and I think that you're looking at a timeshare where I'd prefer to have Ekeler, but if Justin Jackson's getting 40 to 45% of the running back work, that won't surprise me in the slightest. Do you guys feel the same about Jackson?
100% the same. I'm glad you brought him up because he is a guy that if you are in need, if you're in one of those situations where all these great players are owned and you're out of running backs, you lost Fournette and,
and Gordon on the same day,
and Gordon, and you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Justin Jackson's available in 100% of leagues, basically, and
200%.
200% of leagues.
I mean, he dominated in college, man, at Northwestern.
Yeah, no, he was a good back.
He looked like trash in the preseason. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember we were all surprised, but he
Yes.
looked great in this past game.
We were a little surprised when he dropped to the 7th because going into the NFL draft, he was one of the guys that was like, yeah, he has some juice. He could make it in the NFL. So now he's got an opportunity.
That's what you want as a running back. Juice.
Yes.
I feel like that's been the refrain for 2 weeks. You want juice.
Well,
You don't
want milk.
water.
yeah, I don't want a plotter.
No.
Yeah. If you like, LeGarrette Blount's got milk. You know? LeGarrette Blount, he's on the sideline. Some guys get Gatorade. He's getting whole milk.
He drinks whole milk.
Yes.
Down
Oh,
in it.
whole milk on the sideline.
And then he goes, you got the whole milk was a bad choice moment.
Sometimes he'll spring for a milkshake
Oh, sure.
on the sideline.
Bring the boys to the yard. We got to bring up, I think, Carlos Hyde as well. TJ
Yes.
Yeldon, because it's the Colts, in the game script, you don't know how that game's going to go. If Andrew Luck is able to do what he does to throw 3 touchdowns because he just does that, then Yeldon might be more involved. But I do think Hyde is, well, first of all, he's more widely available. Yeldon
Would you prefer him if both Jags running backs are there?
I would take Hyde over Yeldon.
Pretty good matchup. Indianapolis, 19th against fantasy running backs. Brooks, you and I are facing off in a very important Dynasty League matchup. I don't have any wide receivers left. Would you allow me to play Carlos Hyde in the wide receiver spot? Is that something you'd be willing to?
Brooks is a
I don't
good
think
guy.
the system will allow it.
Oh wow!
Wait, he's
But-
commish.
But what if you could, Brooks?
Yeah.
Would you do it?
Nah.
There you go. Stand up for yourself. I love it. You're going down.
I think I am.
On the other side of that ball, Marlon Mack, a reminder, he did exit with a concussion, has the full week. As far as I know, Marlon Mack does not have the concussion history that you'd be concerned of him missing Sunday, but he certainly could. And if Marlon Mack is out, similar to like Curtis Samuel, if Funchess is out, I love Curtis Samuel. If Marlon Mack is out, while I don't love the matchup, Nyheim Hines, in replacement, when he was the featured back, he was putting up serious fantasy points, so he becomes immediately interesting if Marlon Mack is to miss.
Yeah, I mean, the matchup is not great, so I don't love it there, but you're right that he's going to be the back to own. Jordan Wilkins, who started the year as like, hey, we're going to give him the workload.
Right.
He has shown that he didn't have enough of what they were looking for, and he fumbled again. And he's had a little bit of the itis, so I would certainly lean Nyheim Hines, but I do expect Marlon Mack to be okay.
All right. Other names you guys want to bring up?
Just, I would say, handcuff watch, please. Spencer Ware, Gio Bernard, Malcolm Brown. Those are absolute must-own guys. And then guys like Wayne Gallman from New York, Rod Smith, the backup in Dallas, and Rex Burkhead. So I think that if you have the starting running backs from any of those teams listed, you need to start protecting your lineup. You need to have points going into the fantasy playoffs.
Tight ends. Let's talk about some tight ends. Look, I didn't bring him up earlier because I knew we'd talk about him again right now, which is Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith, last night, one play.
Yeah.
One catch, 61 yards and a touchdown.
And then
I guess he had 2 catches, one for 2 yards. But
After the big one, then they never went back to him. It was very bizarre.
when Mariota was 22 for 23 on the night, mostly short passes, you're surprised that he didn't get more involved?
Very.
Yeah. I mean, Jonnu is a great athlete. You know, we said, I think it was on yesterday's show or maybe it was last week's, about I like Jonnu, but they don't utilize him the same way that they were utilizing Delaney Walker. And then, of course, he goes in. He had 2 really important plays. One was the long touchdown run, and one was the complete Matador whiff on J.J. Watt. That, I mean, it's not his fault. It's J.J. Watt.
Right.
But still, it was a sorry, Marcus.
Yeah, so Cameron Brate, it would be the main tight end pickup of the week, but he's probably not owned. Chris Herndon continues to produce for the New York Jets.
I'm concerned just because the quarterback situation is a little back and forth. Like, I mean, 7 for 57 on 8 targets. I think that was the peak targets for Herndon.
This was also the most snaps that he's ever played.
True.
He almost hit 80% of the snaps when he'd been just sitting in that low 60s.
I'm actually very interested. If you want, like it's hard to make a decision between a bunch of these middling guys, but I think CJ Uzomah makes the most sense to me because
with Driscoll
and the pass
CJ.
rush of Denver. I mean, Denver.
One big score.
One big score for CJ.
I just need one.
6 for 39. Driscoll will need that help underneath.
Yeah, I do think that
I think he will be a viable start.
I'm guessing he'll be part of the plan. I mean, they have a plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to trust. You got to trust that. Hey, here's another name. This is the name I thought you were going to bring up. But Matt LaCosse. Jeff Hireman has been, very involved and kind of, you could start him and you could not. But Matt LaCosse, tight end for Denver, with Hireman out for the year and a great matchup against Cincinnati. If you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, I would rather play Uzomah as well. But
another guy I thought you were going to bring up was Jesse James from Pittsburgh. Vance McDonald left. I believe it was a hip injury. If Vance McDonald is going to miss, then Jesse James is a low-end tight end 1 to me.
I would take Jesse James over Uzomah and over LaCosse if he's the only guy.
Yep.
All you need is one big score from
score.
Jesse James.
Got a plan.
Just need more time.
I love that 70% of the audience has no idea what we're talking about. And we're not going to tell you.
No. We rely on the Twitter comments to inform you.
We love you.
But just one more score. Defenses this week, Denver. Denver gets to take on Cincinnati.
Very nice.
Buffalo takes on Miami. You could look their way.
Also nice.
New Orleans. Do you like New Orleans defense against Dallas? No, I don't really like them against Dallas on Thursday night.
Kansas City and Indianapolis, those are two defenses you don't usually play.
But I would.
And they should not be owned in most leagues, but they are going up against Oakland and the aforementioned destroyed Jacksonville Jaguars
We
offense.
expect Derek Carr back out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, either way.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Derek Carr.
Yeah. Sometimes better.
And so just take another longer-term look at the defenses. Denver is set up very nicely with matchups upcoming against the Niners, the Browns, and Oakland. I think they're –
And then Cincinnati this week. So if you could have grabbed them, that's 4 weeks you can play them.
And they're available in about half of leagues, so they would be my –
I stashed them
probably
4 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, and that was – we had been talking about it back then, but maybe there's people who are slackers.
Yeah.
And they're procrastinators, and now they need to make something happen. Denver still could be there for you.
Absolutely. One thing I wanted to look at, did you guys see that Aqib Talib is probably going to play this week?
I saw he got the designation, which we knew was going to happen.
Do you have more interest in
the Rams?
Yeah, the Rams defense at all? I was trying to figure out their next 4-game schedule real quick for you. They play at Detroit this week.
Okay.
And Chicago, Philadelphia, Arizona in championship week.
Yeah, that's nice.
The Rams D in Arizona in week 16 is very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Here are some drop questions for you guys, because we just went through a ton of names and waivers, but people need to drop somebody in order to sign somebody. So would you drop? We're going to play Would You Drop, okay? You ready, Brooks? You prepared for this? We're going to include Brooks in this.
This is tough.
Brooks, you're going to weigh in. Jarvis Landry, would you drop Jarvis Landry to sign somebody else?
Yeah.
Jason's a yes. Mike?
Yeah, I would.
Brooks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Since Freddie Kitchens took over as the OC, he's averaging about 6 targets a game instead of the 12 or so that he was averaging with Haley.
With wide receivers specifically, I'm looking at, Josh Reynolds, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel. Who would I rather start?
Yeah. Cortland Sutton was Cortland nothing this past week. Are you dropping Cortland Sutton?
I am not.
Yeah, if Reynolds was out, I would drop him, but I want to hold Sutton.
What do you mean if Reynolds is out?
If Reynolds is available, if he's out on the waivers is what I meant.
Brooks?
I'm trying to hold on to him too. Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to hold him.
Jordan Howard mentioned it yesterday.
Yeah. You have to hold him.
Nope. Drop him.
You're dropping him?
I'm dropping him.
I'm holding him.
Mike said he wanted to bomb somebody with a Jordan Howard bomb.
Yeah, and I said I understand the game that I am playing. I know Jordan Howard all of a sudden could be incredible, but I'm going to gamble that he's not.
So you guys dropping him to grab one of the best handcuffs, like the top handcuffs?
Yes, I would do that.
For your team?
Well, let me ask this then, because you said you'd be willing to pick up Rex Burkhead.
Right.
Would you rather have Rex Burkhead on your team than Jordan Howard?
As a standalone, if I have Sony or James White, yes. If I don't have those guys and it's just standalone value, I think I would hold Howard then for that particular player.
Royce Freeman.
His schedule's too good. I'm going to hold him.
Yeah, he's also a one of those high-value handcuff guys. If something happens to Lindsey, then Royce Freeman's awesome.
Duke Johnson.
Drop him.
See ya.
Alex Collins.
Drop him.
Gone.
That sucks, but it's Gus Bus, man.
Time to move on.
I also saw Golden Tate on this list.
Drop him.
Drop him for
Yeah.
sure.
Full stream ahead.
All right, we're going to jump into some quarterback streaming options.
Now, the really low percentage guys that are available, there's not a ton of viable options.
I mean, you can look at Josh Allen with the rushing yardage. You can look at Colt McCoy. I think could surprise against Philadelphia with that secondary being beat up. Those are the bottom of the barrel, scrape the bottom.
Yeah, and
man, we're attacking the bottom of that
and
barrel today.
My backup to my stream of the week is so I'll start here because Case Keenum is also widely available. The matchup against Cincinnati is very good, and I think Case he's
playing better. He's
playing well. He still has not put up superstar fantasy numbers, but Cincinnati is a perfect remedy for that. So I think you could do worse than Case Keenum this week. That's my backup, but my true stream of the week is Lamar Jackson. The reason I have a backup, we don't know that he's going to be the starter. It could be Joe Flacco. But Lamar Jackson at Atlanta, goodness gracious. I mean, Lamar Jackson had two interceptions and a fumble. Those interceptions, had they not been thrown, one was deep, near the red zone where, okay, that's not just take away 6 points in turnovers. That's maybe add an extra 6 points in getting in the end zone. And a 12-point swing. Without that, he was still a quality start because of the rushing yardage. So if he is the starter, he is absolutely my stream of the week.
And I'll jump in here. Just Case Keenum is the stream for me this weekend. If you are in a dire situation and he is available. This is my reminder for Jameis Winston, who is available in just over half of Yahoo leagues. So I'd say a lot of the people listening to the show, Jameis is not available. And I would say the same for all these quarterbacks we're kind of talking about. That's why Case Keenum is the most streamy of these fellas.
I'll go with Dak on Thursday night. The number I have right now is 43% owned in ESPN leagues.
Right.
Thursday Night Football, he has New Orleans. And it's been different with Amari Cooper for Dak Prescott. You know that the way New Orleans is playing, this is not going to be a ground and pound only Zeke fest. You guys have talked about Baker Mayfield, excitement for him rest of season. I'd rather play Dak this week than Baker against Houston in Houston.
Yeah. I agree with that. It's funny. I put Lamar Jackson in, and I knew I needed to have kind of a pivot guy because he might not be the starter, and I had not seen your guys' starts, and so I went, oh, it's clearly Dak. And then I was like, oh, and he's got Dak. All right, I got to go looking. Oh, well, I think you could still make Jameis a streamer. Oh, Mike's got him. So, yeah, I like your guys' picks.
It's quite the internal battle you had raging.
Those were the streamers for this week. Let's get into the mailbag.
Mailbag.
Mailbag! Oh! We love answering questions. That's what we live for. You can send us your question on the website, thefantasyfootballers.com. Click the Submit a Question button or dial the voicemail hotline, 302-464-TFFB. That's 302-464-TFFB. We'll start with a voicemail question.
Hey, this is Logan calling from New York. Big fan of the show. Just want to know how you guys rank Austin Ekeler now that Melvin Gordon's down. Wondering if we should play him over somebody like Gus Edwards against Atlanta this week. Let me know. Thanks.
Watch out for the train, man.
Watch out for that train. I would go with Gus.
Yeah, that's what I had said earlier. And
would you do that in a full PPR,
though?
Does it change anything in a full PPR? Because Ekeler will probably catch a lot of – I would say, the over-under is 6 catches for Ekeler?
Yeah, I mean, if Ekeler – if it's a full PPR, and keep in mind Alex Collins was gone last week. So if Alex Collins is active in the game – and it's full PPR, then I would swing to, if I had to pick one of those guys to start, it would be Ekeler. Otherwise, it's Gus.
Julio in Los Angeles. Question. I'm in first in my league, but just lost baby hands Jack Doyle.
Oof.
Who's a better waiver tight end, Jonnu Smith or Benjamin Watson? Jonnu has the targets, but Watson has a better schedule. I think I go with
Jesse James.
CJ Uzomah.
Yeah, I think I picked both those guys over these two.
What about Herndon?
No.
I feel like
the upside of Herndon is nothing. Like, Jonnu can score. He scored a bunch. Like, Ben Watson, he can score. I don't think I go Herndon.
Herndon's floor has been very safe.
I think I
the
would
floor,
take Herndon.
I agree. If you just want a floor, that's fine.
I think I would take Herndon over those two guys.
Okay. All right. Justin in Davenport, Iowa. I have Alex Collins and James White on my bench. Do I drop them to pick up players like Spencer Ware and Murray because of the upside?
You don't drop James White.
No way.
No. Think about this. I assume you have like Cook and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
If Cook goes down, can't you see yourself starting James White over Latavius Murray in the right matchup?
I could.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, because if the answer to that question is you're always going to play the handcuff, then do it. Go get the handcuff.
Yeah, I would drop Collins for Ware, though, if I have Kareem Hunt.
Mark in Philadelphia, what do you guys think is the right way to handle tiebreakers in a divisional league? Which holds more weight, total points for or head-to-head record?
Total points for. That would be my personal vote. I think I love divisions. I love divisions because of rivalry and over the years. I think divisions of fantasy football are great. But the best, most accurate tiebreaker is who had the better team through the course of the year, and that to me is total points.
I'm fine with both, personally. Because if you have head-to-head, and let's say, Brooks and I, we face each other twice. If he beats me 2 times, I don't mind that being the reason why I don't make the playoffs.
I like head-to-head.
Ray in Los Angeles, bonjour, ballers.
Bonjour.
I keep hearing that's kind of cheap. He's from Los Angeles.
But he said bonjour to me.
Yeah,
I'm taking it back.
I'm not rude.
Rajamb.
That was bonjour backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing people vote to eliminate kickers from fantasy leagues. Given the atrocious tight end landscape week to week, are we at the point where we consider removing tight ends from fantasy rosters as well?
No. Do you want to know why? Because I
want to know why.
Great. I hear, well, what's next? You're going to get rid of the tight ends? You're gonna
Running backs, too predictable. Unpredictable.
Why. Here's why. We just had a whole show. A show that we've done 650 times. We talked about tight ends.
And we
talked
got
about
it right.
strategy. We talked about who you can pick up, who you can't, matchups, who's been doing what their athletic profiles. We've never talked about kickers.
Yeah.
You haven't listened to a podcast really digging deep. We don't care. You don't care. We're not going to get rid of tight ends because we actually care about those type of metrics, the on-the-field performance, the snap counts, and the things that we can kind of...
So let me box it up.
Sure. Put a bow on.
Predictability isn't the only element then, right? It's not just
Correct.
about, is this unpredictable? You can get junk. What? Michael Thomas finished 54 spots worse than he was projected to finish this week. That's unpredictable. You don't get rid of wide receivers. The main problem is you don't talk about them.
Yes, we don't
care.
And you don't care. And they are so beholden to a bunch of variables you can't control, right? Is it the end of the half? Which kicker has a better chance for their offense to be in a 2-minute drill at the end of the half that gives them an extra kick? You can't predict that, and it's not fun to talk about.
You just don't care. Having said that, I'm very glad that Greg Zuerlein's on my team.
Sure. Well, you're in the boat you're in, right? And you'd rather have that leg kicking
Yeah.
for that for your team.
Kick for me, Greg.
Kick for me, Greg. All right, that does it for Mailbag and the episode. We want to thank Navy Federal. Again, Navy Federal has a mission to put their members first by making their financial goals the priority. You can receive a lifetime of membership benefits to help you and your family accomplish your life missions, like a full suite of financial products designed to fit your needs, 24/7 life support, and access to over 300 branches on or near military bases. Visit NavyFederal.org for more information or call 1-888-842-6328 or download the Navy Federal Credit Union app. Message and data rates may apply. Any chance we get that detention story, Jason?
Yeah. Right now.
Hey, Thank you to the studio sponsor, draft.com/ballers, for all your daily fantasy needs. We'll see you tomorrow, Foot Clan. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.